What it mean to be the best? Riding foes, feeling unimpressed. Make me reminisce, throwing bows, bend the corner, set my mind up on the goal. All I know is stay down, bad, I'm the goal. Okay, feel like the best, the great. Now there ain't no debate. Yeah. Okay, feel like the best, the great. Now there ain't no debate. Yeah. I ain't gotta say much. Know the boy got a touch. Another win for the rush. Another win for the rush. See me once and got a crush. See you twice and that's enough. Get the ring sized up.
Welcome in to Tell the Truth. Here after a Thanksgiving weekend of football that was very intriguing, and the Chiefs have found a way to ruin another holiday. Would you look at that? They did it again, guys.
Back to back.
They did it again.
They
found a way. They ruined Thanksgiving with a pitiful defensive performance, specifically in Dallas versus the Cowboys. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens getting whatever they wanted to on a consistent basis. I will say that, to say the least. And the Chiefs lose a crucial game on the road again this season. Drop back down to 6-6. We had to see the Panthers, Tiger Woods and John Daly mean once again. Instead, this time they have a better record now because they were able to beat the Rams at 7-6. And the Chiefs are staring down the barrel of a must-win game at home in Arrowhead versus a surging Texans team that seems to have figured it out in the offensive line and has a hellacious defense. So other than tickling tonsils, how are you guys feeling, man?
Tickling tonsils is crazy.
I almost left.
Andy need to be paused for that. Get reporters, hold coaches accountable. Stop letting people say whatever they want just because they got the mic in front of them. You just say, "Hey, bro, pause." No, Diddy. Do you want to read? You want to restate that? You want to re-answer that question, Andy? You don't need to say that, bro. This is not the time for jokes. You over here laughing and shit. And come on, hurry up.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm at a point now, like
it is what it is, bro.
If they don't care, I don't care. Like, why should I
be saying, bro?
Like, why should I be serious? I've been saying this for a while too. Why should I be serious if y'all not gonna be serious? You know, why should I sit here on this podcast and give realistic takes when y'all not gonna go out there and play realistic ball? You know, why should I sit here on this podcast and go over film and stats and stuff like that when y'all are gonna go out there and not get sacks, not get to the quarterback, and then when you do get to the quarterback, you whiff. Like you like, bro. I don't know where we've gotten in this franchise right now, but I feel like it's a lot of complacency within some of these players. Like, I won 2 rings, I won 3 rings, blah 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 blah. You know, so what? So be it.
Human nature.
You know, like, and everybody is sitting here in what we're in right now, in the reality we're in right now, and they are fucking laughing at you. Laughing. The Chiefs are done. They're cooked. It's over. They're not. I got people in spaces telling me this is not the same Chiefs team. And I can't even say nothing because you're not.
What am I supposed to do? They're not. That's what I'm saying.
You know, so like, why should I sit here and do what I do? And because I don't get paid to do this. Just so everybody knows, I don't get paid to do this, guys. You know,
even though we should.
I do this because I
hey, your FanDuel, come holler at us.
Yeah, I love the game. I love sitting here and talking to our fans, our people that watch us, our supporters that watch us. I won't say fans, supporters that watch us.
No, we got fans.
Because I love to do this. So if I love to do this, why don't you love to do your job? Is it hard? Is it too hard to ask for a sack? You haven't had one in 11 quarters.
That's crazy. Y'all ain't got a sack in 2 weeks.
Like two.
Oh god.
Almost 3 games, and you haven't had a sack. Nobody.
That's so embarrassing.
Nobody's touched the quarterback.
That's awful.
I'm wondering, like, how do you come into work every day, knowing that, man, we ain't done nothing to affect their quarterback at all.
Outside of Chris Jones, the whole D-line room ass. I ain't gonna lie. And I hope they see this too. Clip me. I don't give a fuck. Y'all niggas ass, bro.
Mike
outside of Chris, bro, that shit over with, bro. 3 games, you can't get it. You're not embarrassing at this, bro. That's like going 3 games and you can't make a layup. That's like you going 3 games and you ain't had a catch. That's like you going 3 games and you ain't had no completion. You know how embarrassing that is? You can't get you can't even fall into a sack. Somebody run around and he get into you off a twist stunt. 11 quarters? And y'all supposed to be professionals? I know 5th graders that can do that shit. Come on, bro. What are we talking about? That don't even sound real. That's almost 3 whole games. You can't even accidentally fall into a sack. Omar Norman Lott ran into Jalen Hurts on accident and got a sack in week 2. So you can't do nothing like that. 11 quarters, bro? That shit don't even sound real. That sounds fake. It really sounds made up.
I've never watched a game where I've seen, and this is probably the first time this has happened. I've seen Patrick Mahomes be so dejected on the sideline. Knowing.
Give me the ball back.
We ain't getting the ball back. We ain't getting the ball back.
He said, y'all ain't getting no stops.
Y'all ain't getting the stop, especially. And we said, and don't get me wrong, like I can't absolve the offense from blame too, because you can't go a whole game and in the middle of that game have 3 or 4 straight drives where you punt the fucking ball. Like,
especially after you score twice. Like, what's the problem?
Especially after you come out. But I will say, you know, when the chips mattered the most, the offense showed up. They scored. They did their job, right? So if last week were previously, I told people, you know, hey, I'm not going to harp on the defense too much because the defense did their job in the Colts game.
Now this week.
Now it's flip-flopped. Now the defense is not doing their job. So where does the consistency come into play? Like
they don't have a choice. It's got to come this week.
It got
the season's going to be over with.
I don't get why we always have to have like these back against the wall moments, like whether it be the Giants game, if you want to call that a must win, if you want to call the Lions game a must win, if you want to call the Colts game a must win, all those games they won, quote unquote, for whatever moment it was, whatever staring point, like you said, staring down the barrel. DMac said in the season, they won those quote unquote games where you don't want to go under 500 or games where you don't want to go behind in the division. Now you're staring at another game like that. You're 6-6. You don't want to go under 500. You have a home game and it's a must win. It would not shock me to see them beat the Texans. And we sitting up here looking stupid. The D-line's going to play great. We're like, how come y'all couldn't do this shit? And then the following week, they're going to lose because they don't want to be consistent. Then they're going to do something else dumb. So I don't get the disparity between home and road play. I don't get it. At home, they play much better than they do on the road. They shouldn't be like that because they're a veteran-led football team. You've literally played in almost every stadium in the league because y'all been in the playoffs every year. So that really shouldn't be the issue. I don't get it, bro. This team they're Jekyll and Hyde. I kind of make that joke about other teams like the Chargers or the Packers, but the Chiefs are literally that definition. You don't know what team you're going to get. They could be the Super Bowl champions. They could beat anybody, or they could lose to the fucking Panthers. I don't know what team you're going to get on a week-to-week basis, bro. So we'll see what happens on Sunday night, but it would not shock me if they came out with their hair on fire and got a win. But then the following week they followed up with a loss. I don't get them. I really don't get it.
It's frustrating. It's so frustrating, and it's frustrating for the specific point I think that DG brought up too. They can't find consistency on either side of the ball, and they just needed one opportunity to get off the field ultimately.
Come on, Spags, you couldn't get off the field
one time. And that's ultimately where we're going to start. We're going to dive pretty much right into the film aspect of this. I want to give you the full picture of what happened when I was going through this film. It was Thanksgiving, so I wasn't acutely aware of it happening in the moment. But the Chiefs had 7 third down opportunities to get off the field, and in which it was 3rd down or 7+, 3rd and long.
I go hate this number.
Purposes. The Cowboys went 5 of 7 on those conversions, but I promise it gets worse because Dak completed 7 of those 7 passes for 101 yards and the touchdown. And the other 2 that didn't end up going for conversions ended up resulting in field goals on 4th down. So even when they didn't keep the drive going, they still ended up scoring points. It was a disgusting performance as far as the Chiefs' third down was concerned. And the overarching theme as far as the tape is concerned is just the fact that getting no pressure on Dak Prescott. And I said this coming after the Colts game. Their performance with some of the blitz looks that they were able to get Daniel Jones with was nice. It was a tip of the cap to the way in which they were able to adjust. Great job. Dak Prescott is not a quarterback that you can just blitz and fool the entirety of the game and get off the field. He is too great for that. He is going to kill you. And that's never mind receivers too. I was about to say, that's never mind the fact that he's got two great receivers that can line up anywhere, and he's got a good tight end. He's got a good receiving back. And they took advantage of it time and time again. And again, this isn't even including the fact that they were able to get conversions on third and medium, third and short. This is just the third and long must get off the field situations that the Chiefs failed at time and time again. So I just wanted to go through these because these really still tell the story, I should say, of the game from this perspective. Really, this is just a nice little out route from the slot. McDuffie's, playing a little inside leverage, and I kind of understand it. You wanted to throw the more difficult throw. In reality, in theory, he should have help inside if they're running a little cover one robber, because it seems like basically it is man across the board. But CeeDee Lamb, top of the routes, able to get that separation versus Brent. Does he extend the arm, et cetera, et cetera? It's
debatable.
It's debatable.
I wasn't as mad about there should have been like a couple of them OPIs. I'm fine with that, but just as the fact that if you're going to call that many DPIs on the field, there needs to be at least some push-off calls on the other side. It's in an overall sense, I'd rather some of those plays just be no calls. Some of those are just battles. And I think like some of those, like especially the third down call from the one that was the slot fade to Trent on the sideline, and I think CD turned it into a curl. That's not a DPI. It's just a play. They're just battling. So you can't always call DPI in the defense and think the offense never pushes off. And I'm not trying to complain and say we don't get calls from refs, because I know we have in the past. But if you're going to call it that consistently, call it both ways. If not, just let it be clean, let them play. I would rather you just keep your whistle in your pocket because they're just two great players.
That's what it comes down to. And I'm glad we're getting this out of the way. And DG, I'm going to go to you in a second. But the Chiefs did not lose because of the calls. But the calls were clearly inconsistent. The holding call on Josh Simmons, egregiously bad.
That's the second time this year he's done that with him. Why do they keep doing that to him?
The OPI on Xavier Worthy, it is bad
out
of context, but it's awful in the context of what was getting called on the other side. NFL refereeing is bad. They aren't consistent. It's terrible. It's something the NFL stands to improve upon as far as their product. And this was a very frustrating example of it. And yes, it does feel like it was against the Chiefs from that perspective. But again, the Chiefs had their opportunities to make it not matter as far as the game was concerned. They couldn't take advantage of it. And that makes it equally as frustrating from that standpoint. DG, what were you going to say?
Yeah, first, let me say this. They've been giving that horseshit excuse for the last however many years with the refs. That it's gonna be more consistent and blah blah. It hasn't. It hasn't at all. And this is me speaking not from a Chiefs fan perspective, but from a general fan perspective. It has not been a good product from the refereeing from the whole throughout the whole league. You seeing bad calls left and right. The thing that pissed me off about the calls on Thanksgiving is the right refs making the calls. Yeah. The back judge should not be calling a DPI. The flag should not be coming from the back
the DB side, because all you see is the DB.
How in the you gotta have 40-40 vision.
You gotta have 4 eyes out there.
Superman X-ray vision.
Where's my super head?
On this side of the field, a DPI when the ref who's standing
looking
right
dead at it didn't even
how does he not see it and you do?
But you see it 20 yards away. Fuck out of here.
Tell me. Explain. I wish I could sit in these official meetings explain to me how you saw that.
I know you get a grading card on these calls after the game. So, how do you explain this, please?
But ultimately, like I said, I'm not gonna make excuses for the referee in this game or whatever. The Chiefs played bad. The corners played bad. I'm sorry. It
was a
is
bad
what
day
it
for
is.
sure.
It was a bad, and I think maybe this was probably indicative that it was a bad matchup for them. George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, and I hate to say this too. I blame one of our own on this show, Chuck, for the way that CeeDee Lamb played, because literally you called him not a top 5 receiver, not an elite receiver.
Chuck, that's probably the
He
dumbest
said
thing you ever said.
you should have heard what Chuck was saying in the space pregame about Jalen Watson and George Pickens. And we saw how that worked out. Chuck cursed both of our cornerbacks.
Both
Chuck,
both
they both bad luck. Damn, Chuck.
Right.
It's all your
anyway, but yeah, ultimately, I just think it's a bad matchup. Credit to the Cowboys and both of those receivers. Those guys.
Dak played well. I ain't gonna take that away from him. He made great throws.
All right,
yeah, and
he made great throws. Can't knock it.
That's ultimately what this comes down to for me. Again, I have my issue with the refereeing, but the Chiefs have a chance to overcome
we still have a chance.
But nothing about this defensive performance was surprising to me. It just wasn't.
We knew everything.
You have a great quarterback that understands how to diagnose blitzes pre-snap, one of the best, if not the best, as far as that in the National Football League today. You got 2 great outside weapons that understand how to get open. You've got a tight end that understands how to get open over in the middle of the field, and you got an offensive line that's played improved. And if you can't affect the quarterback, that quarterback's going to kill you.
Shit, we could have went out there and threw the ball the way this line. Look at this pocket.
It's not
ain't nobody sniffing Dak Prescott.
It's not surprising what ended up happening. So we can continue on with this. Again, you see Dak has an amazing pocket here. He's just going to sit there. And even though they did run a little bit of a stunt here with Charles Minnie,
it's too late now.
It's too late. He gets into his drop back. It's on time. Ball's out. CeeDee Lamb. That's easy pitch and catch for him. And so that's the first third down that they ended up getting, converting. Dak again. Run a little sim pressure, even though they end up sending 5. Ultimately, they drop Charles Minnie out. They send the slot. They pick it up easily with the running back. They do run a game here on the left side of the offensive line. Dak Prescott kind of hangs in the pocket, has plenty of time.
Dak back there doing the hip dance before he – man.
He steps up in the pocket. Charles Minnie, again, he's a defensive end dropping out because you're running a sim pressure. And he's not able to guard what should be his zone in the middle of the field.
Bro, Dak back there doing the Macarena before he threw the ball. Look at this shit. Run that play back. He hits twice and still got the ball off.
And this dig route is incredibly open to CeeDee Lamb. It just
dumb open. Our blitzes this year are terrible. I know we troll Justin Reid, but at least his blitzes hit home. He probably got burnt in coverage a lot. I will give him that. He was shitty in coverage. But when he blitzed, he got home. Our blitzes this year, we've been ass.
But the reality of the situation is with the blitzes is the problem in a lot of respects. I'll say 80% of the time. The problem is not necessarily who we're sending. And I say that in the sense that they can't get home. The problem is the fact that we're sending guys into blocked up looks because people have understood what Spags wants to do with his blitzes and adjusted accordingly. And nobody else is winning one-on-ones that is consistently created by blitzing too. So the combination of both those things means that the scheme isn't winning, the talent isn't winning, the quarterback has time to pick out whatever mismatches are created, whether it is man coverage, especially with these weapons that Dak has, or you get into zone coverage where you got guys dropping out because it's a sim pressure and your defensive end is trying to guard CeeDee Lamb on a dig route and he's open. So it's and we obviously saw what happened.
The days of dropping your ends in coverage, you got to stop that shit, Spags. I know it's been working for years, bro.
Well, you can't drop him into a hook zone.
What do you expect him to do? He's not used to being in that area.
You could drop him into a flat, maybe. And even that's
or even like an over the center hole shot, but not.
But you're dropping him straight into a hook zone in which he's got to cover 10 yards wide of space with CeeDee Lamb in the slot. That's an awful design. But hey, guess what? You can't win a one-on-one up front, so that's what you have to do. That's what you're forced to do on a consistent basis. Chuck, CeeDee Lamb is great. I don't know why you're still doing this.
I don't know why he's saying this shit. He's a dog, bro. Stop that. Stop that.
I wasn't even about to get into it with him. Like at this point, you just hating, bro.
I'm upset. I'm still upset with Chuck for the reasons we discussed for the pod.
That was fun.
So anyway, another third down. She's playing kind of a little bit of pretty much a Tampa 2, but it's really man on the outside. Trey McDuffie CD does a little stutter and go. Dak puts the ball pretty much on the money as CD gets that separation, is able to bring the ball in. This was just there's no two ways about it. Poor days at the office for Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson. These are superstar wide receivers that they're going up against. It's not easy by any means. And again, like I said, affecting the quarterback is the major piece of this. If you don't do that, then none of it matters. But they both had bad games, and you just got to flat out say that. This is an example of Trent McDuffie there getting beat on the outside by CeeDee Lamb.
Look how long it takes George Karlaftis to get there.
You don't get me started on that.
Like, bro, and like
you don't do that.
You walk.
And this is one of his better reps of the day, by the way. That's one of his better reps of the day, by the way. But even his best reps take this long
even
to
close.
turn the pressure.
Like, come on, bro. This is a good route by CD. He's a good player.
It's a really good route, and it's a great throw by Dak. But even the best win by George Karlaftis the entirety of the day takes far too long to affect the quarterback. That's just the reality of the situation.
You don't get no pressure
for a while. That look, I love Spags, and I this is one of my biggest complaints even at the beginning of the season. You have got to change your philosophy on defensive ends. This is not the era of Tom Brady and Ben Roethlisberger and Peyton Manning and guys that were complete utter statues in the pocket back there. Even with Dak, and I think Dak's pretty capable,
decently
mobile. But even him, bro, you cannot rely on just bull rushing and strength to get back there and create pressure. At some point in time, there's going to have to be a point in time where you're going to have to go away from what you've normally been scouting and looking at defensive end and get speed on this team. And then also, please start playing your younger players. I'd rather lose that way. It shouldn't take Brian Cook getting injured to get Jaden Hicks over 50% of the snaps on the field. It shouldn't take that. But it did. And honestly, I think this game would have been a lot worse had you not had Jaden Hicks out there for that amount of snaps. I'd hate to see what it would look like if Jaden Hicks and Brian Cook would have went down.
Honestly, it couldn't have gotten much worse. I will say this, and I talked about this I talked about this in the week leading up to this. A lot of people talk about, hey, no, Gray looks like he's going to end up missing this game. Trey Smith obviously was a major storyline with his ankle, but I was like, Roland-Wallace is going to be a big piece of this, not being out there, because they had relied upon him very recently as far as being able to play that nickel and being a little safety as far as that versatility is concerned. And him being out in this game showed time and time again. And
he's our second best nickel behind Trent.
Yeah, I mean, it only got worse once Brian Cook went out. So, in my opinion, and I tweeted this out too, and this is hopefully with these guys healthy, but their base safety set, in my opinion, it has to be Brian Cook and Jaden Hicks. Shamari Conner just isn't an NFL player. I won't say NFL player. Isn't an NFL starter. Thank you. Isn't an NFL starter. He just has to be a backup, in my opinion, a fourth safety. I think their big nickel look should involve Roland-Wallace in the nickel. If you really want to have that 3 safety look specifically, and then your regular nickel and dime packages, in my opinion, have to feature Trent McDuffie sliding inside and Noel Williams being on the outside. And if that includes CRW in the dime, then yes, no problem as far as that's concerned. And honestly, I could be talked into CRW being over Jaden Hicks because we've seen some of the mistakes from him. But guess what? You can't run Mike Edwards out there. I'm sorry. He's not an NFL athlete right now. He's just not. So That can't happen.
And he still almost had an interception.
Well, but if he was an NFL athlete, he might have been there a step earlier to be able to catch the ball. So and we'll talk about that when we get to one of the other third downs as we get to the last one. I believe it is the last one here. So frustrating to say the least. Anyway, this was one of the ones in which the Chiefs actually got off the field on. They run a little quick bubble to Ryan Flournoy here, and they're able to get the ball to him. McDuffie misses the tackle. They push him out of the bounds. The Cowboys will go on and kick a field goal on that one. One of the ones in which the Chiefs actually did create some pressure, fortunately. Even still, Dak does a good job kind of extending the play long enough to get Jake Ferguson on the little release underneath. And he just gets enough yards to get the first down. Turns a 3rd and 9 into a 11-yard gain. They show the double A look, kind of back off of it, only end up sending 4. Chris Jones ends up winning the one-on-one as a result of that double A mug look. But, everybody else kind of drops a little bit too far. Ferguson takes advantage of it, shakes Trent McDuffie a little bit, and first down. And again, not a good game from Trent McDuffie. That's just flat out. It just wasn't.
Bad day at the office.
This is another thing that pisses me off too. Who picks up? If that's the look. Who's picking up the tight end leaking out? Whose job is it?
If you're doubling up, good. Running back.
We should not. It should not be week 13, I hope this is coming from Spags as well too when they're watching the film. It's week 13, guys. We shouldn't be going over whose job is it to pick up the tight end.
Realistically on this play, because McDuffie is playing the role of Tampa 2. McDuffie's playing the role of Tampa 2 pipe runner. So essentially McDuffie does the right thing in the way that he's playing this. It's really on Shamari Connor, which is not a surprise for people because he can't play slot and because he can't go backwards. But he drops way too far. And I pointed this out. What game was it? There was a game a few weeks ago where somebody on the sideline caught the ball because Shamari Connor dropped way too far back. And it ended up resulting in a first down because it was 10-plus yards. He can't play with his mind going backwards. It messes him up too much. So he can't play close to the line of scrimmage here. And so I feel like I'm roasting him and I'm not even making sure that, it isn't. Okay. Okay. I apologize. All the things that I just said were all true, by the way, as far as it was Shamari Connor. But Shamari Connor is the one that's mugging up. So Trent McDuffie drops back too far in this nickel look. Shamari's playing the
middle.
So McDuffie drops too far, and I understand why he does because the vertical. But even still, he drops too far, and then again, he misses the tackle here on Ferguson. You got to come up and make that tackle. You just have to.
Trent got to come off that sooner. Once you get to 5-10 yards, you see George going because vertical. There's no other threat. You can come up and support now. So.
And Watson is taking that outside guy too. So
exactly.
Right here, you got help on the inside. He's got to trigger it downhill and make sure that he's got that release valve, especially on the scramble drill on top of that. So that's on Trent McDuffie there. And people would be like, well, what about Nick Bolton? Well, Nick Bolton's supposed to be a part of the pass rush here. So he's, tracking him down from behind. It's not his job there. So that one's on Trent McDuffie for not triggering fast enough. And just frustrating, man. Again, bad day at the office from Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson. There's really no two ways around it. And this is one where you could have got off the field, flipped the field as far as that was concerned, put yourself in a really good position too. Another little mugged up look. They end up sending basically cover 0. Cowboys get to a stack at the top of the screen ultimately. And, ends up creating a nice little play to George Pickens as a result. Jalen Watson does a good enough job, trying to get him on the ground. Again, bad day at the office for Jalen Watson. But anyway, slant to Jalen Watson, which became a theme on the last drive of the game, to say the least. Pickens shakes him off, gets outside, shakes Mike Edwards, again, not an NFL athlete at this current moment in time.
Mike looks so old.
Hurdles Trent McDuffie. Thank God Trent just got enough of him. But, I mean, I understand why Watson is playing there because he knows he doesn't have help over the top. It's just
you got to go
slant after slant after slant.
Because if you playing outside leverage, he's just going to slant you to death. So.
Exactly. At a certain point, you think you would
gotta play inside leverage.
Play the inside leverage at some point.
He did play inside leverage and still got beat. So it was just a bad day, bro.
It was a bad day. It was a bad day, point blank. Period. And a great play by George Pickens specifically after the catch. Stops on the dime, gets outside. Like you said, Mike Edwards just looks so old.
Mike's so slow.
And McDuffie just got enough of them to prevent the touchdown. They would end up scoring right after anyway. And then on the next drive, they ended up driving down here again, another third down, essentially cover zero look, send the house. Bone gets right in his face. Get the ball out to George Pickens on the short out. McDuffie does a good job coming up here, making a play. Creates a fumble.
God, we gotta get that. We gotta get that ball.
And Kevontae Turpin beats everybody to the
Johnny
ball.
On the spot. He was already in full dead sprint.
Yeah, and that's
Drew
that's
trying to tackle. So it's God.
And then it's indicative of the day for the Chiefs defense. Third downs, you can't get off the field. You give up 5 third down and long specifically. But even on the ones that you stop them, and you end up forcing field goals, obviously, it just wasn't enough. And the play before this, they roll out, we're at a play action. Mike Edwards comes down, is a step slow to being able to get the interception. And then this play right after, they get the cover zero look, to get the immediate pressure, get the ball out short. McDuffie makes a good play, and ultimately makes a game-changing play. Because if you can get this fumble recovery, then all of a sudden things look so different. And you aren't. They're 3 points down. It's a one-possession game. Ultimately, you're not down 10 there with that next drive. Ball on the ground, and they were just a step slow. And honestly, that's what the Chiefs defense has felt like for a lot of the season. They feel the step slow. They feel slow at the linebacker position. They feel slow on the defensive line, and they feel slow way too often as far as the defensive backs are concerned. And that is a sad place to be. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of it does have to do with some of the Spags personnel decisions that he's made and how they've come home to roost. So that was indicative of what was really a frustrating performance by the Chiefs defense, to say the least. Is there anything else you guys wanted to add as far as the Chiefs defense? Because I think that really distills it down as far as what their performance looked like.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, I think so. So it's just frustrating to say the least. Speaking of which, I wanted to go to the offensive side of the ball and kind of discuss what was an annoying thing that I saw on tape. So we're gonna roll through. Obviously, the Chiefs come out. They have the quick touchdown score on the first drive.
Bubble screen to
Rashid Rice bubble screen, which we'll talk about a little bit later on, because I think it's indicative of a small silver lining, at least, to talk about. But this is the next play, which still involves, obviously, the scripted 15. And there's going to be a running theme here, which is under center runs. And
what a fly motion. Look at that.
Little fly motion, Kareem Hunt, 14 yards, I should say. And again, obviously, healthy offensive line here, which is important to point out. But just look at the ability. Even Caliendo, good job, cut off block there. We're going to get Kingsley, Creed on a nice little double team, clear him out. Creed's going to climb to Overshown. Josh Simmons kicks out that defensive end as Araku, who's having a really good season. And we will, of course, talk about Josh Simmons as well. Kareem Hunt's in the second level, finishing well.
James Cook ran this play versus the Steelers on Sunday. He ran this play 29 times. But that just shows you, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And the fact that we did this during the first drive, we just went away from it, is the whole season in a nutshell.
Oh, boy, did we ever go away from it. You'll love what I ended up figuring out as far as the Chargers is concerned. Anyway, little counter play, get Creed pulling, Caliendo climbing to second level. Josh Simmons gets enough for Ezraku. And Kareem Hunt's able to get a nice 7-yard chunk to start the next set of downs. Another fly motion. And again, this isn't replaying the same play, guys. These are just what the Chiefs were able to do to come out in the first drive. Another fly motion. Hey, guess what they're going to do? Now we got everybody influenced, right? You're coming this way. You're coming this way. You're coming this way. You're coming this way. Everybody's this way. Now we can run Xavier Worthy back the other way.
Oh, look at that! Look at that lane.
Look at that.
Block, Rasheed,
and
block,
now we can get ourselves some chunk yardage back there. That's how you influence a defense from under center to be able to get your playmakers in space and be able to.
What's that mean with that African kid?
Concerned. Yeah, really. And this is the part of the drive in which things get a little bit, hairy. They end up going away from the under center stuff. They end up running a little shotgun run. Pacheco ends up having a nice little stab inside, getting outside, and be able to get about 7 yards. But I wanted to roll this back just a little bit. This is a front, and you won't see they're essentially running, kind of what's it called? This is 11 personnel, but this is a front that, generally speaking, a shotgun run should not work out of. You should not be able to shotgun run, especially not an inside zone shotgun run, specifically more outside zone.
4 eyes and a 0.
This should not work. But the Chiefs' offensive line is talented enough to make it happen. Creed Humphrey does an amazing job cutting off quickly to get to the second level linebacker. Josh Simmons, again, athletic enough to cut off that it was a 4-eye really where he was playing as well. Suamataia, incredible job cutting off that nose tackle and pushing it back. Caliendo holds his ground. Jawan Taylor kicks him out. The edge is held by the, kind of the read option aspect of the play. And that just enough to be able to get Pacheco out to the edge is a nice run. That shouldn't work, but the talent of the Chiefs offensive line is such that you can run the ball really effectively, even out of shotgun when it doesn't look great, which is incredibly frustrating. Speaking of which, this was the play that almost drove me up the wall. I almost threw the remote at the TV screen.
Bruh, I walked away from the TV when I saw this.
Xavier Worthy
on a counter. Jesus Christ.
Is running a fly motion. And they run a counter run play where Xavier Worthy, your fastest player, has to stop all of his momentum and go back the other way. Why? Why would you ever do that? That doesn't make any sense.
I know they was in the meeting room writing this on the board. We're gonna get him with this one. Man, that play was so ass.
And you know why Andy did it. He was like, look, we were running under center this entire time. And then we did the reverse to Worthy, and it worked so well. So this time, we're just gonna run everybody that way and then counter it back. And no, this is stupid. It doesn't make sense. You shouldn't do it. And you know what? They got properly punished by losing 4 yards by doing this stupid play. And I hope they never show that play ever once again.
Yeah, don't ever run that again, bro.
So that being said, they ended up running that play, and that puts them behind the sticks. But guess what? The beauty of having the best quarterback in the National Football League is he can get you out of those things even when you fail sometimes. So guess what Mahomes does on the 3rd and 16? Diagnoses defense, realizes, hey, I'm not going to be able to get anything down the field. Everybody's pretty well locked up. Stabs to the outside to get overshown to go the wrong way, makes him shake. Everybody's locked in on their man, and he's able to get the first down with the 16-yard run anyway, which, again, Patrick Mahomes had an excellent day as far as I was concerned. And this is him, having enough magic to be able to make up for what was a terrible play call on 1st and 10 that put him behind the sticks, in my personal opinion. And look, he made magic for a lot of this day. So that puts them obviously in a goal-to-goal situation. Hey, we're back under center, back on schedule, right, guys?
Little 6-0 lineman, okay.
6 offensive linemen, get a little 5-6 yard gain, get you inside the 5-yard line. Good job. They end up getting stuff on the next play. I believe they had an incomplete pass on the next play. 3rd and yeah, went back too far. There we go. Almost good. 3rd and 2, in my opinion. I think Kareem Hunt kind of messes up on this play. I understand why he cut it to the front side.
He saw the backer, but he probably could have kept.
It was just a little flash of Azaraku that probably spooked him. He needed to keep this to the weak side. If he keeps
Kelsey gets that block one-on-one with him and Marquise Bell, he probably scores.
Yeah. In my opinion, he keeps this to the weak side. It ends up being a touchdown. So again, execution mistakes happen. That's just a reality situation. So we've got an execution mistake that happened. And we got a play call mistake that happened on the drive, even though the regular part of the drive has been really good up until this point. Mahomes was able to erase the play call aspect of it. Well, guess what? You got 15 and you got 87. What they're able to do, erase the execution aspect.
Another holding call missed.
Yeah.
But we want to call the ones on us. And this is the shit that be pissing me off. DG, where is that ref looking?
Right at him.
He looking dead, and I know for a
Right at him.
fact he saw that white ass glove tugging on his jersey. I know he seen that shit and not even reaching for the flag, standing there looking stupid. But you gonna call all the holding calls on Josh Simmons? All right. When clearly he just buried to do it.
It wasn't a holding call.
It was clearly a pancake.
Okay, right?
Hands on his breastplate, but you don't
Boy
call
got
this dude who's
dominated.
clearly grabbing Travis Kelce way before the ball even gets there. Grabbing him, still grabbing him. Didn't even look for his flag. Come on, bro. What the fuck are we doing?
So earlier in the drive, you have a play calling mistake to put you behind the sticks. Mahomes is able to erase it. Later in the drive, you actually have an execution mistake from Kareem Hunt. Mahomes and Travis Kelce are able to erase it. They end up with a touchdown. Awesome job as far as what this second drive looked like and what the play design of the second drive was supposed to be. That results in the best drive of the day and one of the better drives that they've really had over the course of the season, in my personal opinion. So you saw 7 under center runs on that drive, right, CJ?
Yep.
The Chiefs ran 52 snaps the rest of the game from that point forward. They were only under center for 6 of those snaps.
Jesus Christ.
Not 6 under center runs. 6 snaps.
Period. Jesus.
Out
Lord.
of 52 the rest of the game. Inexcusable, malpractice, disgusting play calling from Andy Reid. I couldn't even believe what I was watching back on tape. 52 snaps after you just put on tape that incredible under center run game and being able to build things off of it. And that's what you do the rest of the game. 6 times under center.
They're
Disgusting,
trolls, bro.
They
They are the biggest trolls on this earth.
I was mind boggled. I could not believe it. It's so frustrating because guess what? They have the offensive line talent. They have the wide receiver talent. They have the tight end talent. They have everything needed to be under center effectively and consistently, and they refuse to do so. And it is so frustrating. And it makes these things where they put it together for a drive all the more mind-boggling how they don't figure out how to do it. And it drives me up a wall as far as that is concerned.
About to have a brain aneurysm. Shit hurts.
It's terrible. So that was the second drive of the game that I wanted to praise them for and juxtapose to how foolish it was the rest of the game, what their play calling ended up looking like. And by the way, you only have the best defense in the National Football League coming to town with your season on the line as far as that was concerned.
And no Josh Simmons. Good luck.
And it's so frustrating because this speaks to the overall coaching issues on both sides of the ball. The Chiefs have levers to pull and buttons to press to make this team better and more consistent as we talk about putting together a four-quarter game, and they just refuse to do so. And it is incredibly frustrating to see whether it's personnel decisions on defense, not running enough stunts and twists in games, which shout out to Seth Kaiser. He had a great article about that earlier today as far as the defense was concerned. The offensive play calling, not using under center nearly enough, wasting time with Xavier Worthy jet motion counters for God knows what reason out of shotgun, just making no sense whatsoever. It's so frustrating. The fact that the coaching staff continues to waste the talent that is on this team, and specifically, in my opinion, on the defensive side of the ball, waste the little talent that they have to be able to work with it as well, and not maximizing it as far as that is concerned. Not being able to get off the field and wasting too many possessions on offense. And honestly, that's really the crazy thing about it. And I'll get into the long and short of it later, but Mahomes keeps trying to save him, man. This is another game where
you keep being in the gun so fucking much. You basically tell him, hey, Pat, go win the game for us when he doesn't have to. I know Pat's great, but why do we put so much on his shoulders, bro? Like, that's the part that pisses me off about this team. We keep saying Pat needs help. You get him the help, and then you don't use it. You spend all this money rebuilding the offensive line. You invested all these resources in that receiver room, and then you don't want it. And you say, we're just going to be in shotgun all day. We can win the ball spreading them out. That's not how football is played, bro. I don't get, what this concept of we too good to get under center. I know y'all be in these meeting rooms. I know y'all watch this film. Like, what's the point if we're just going to go out there and do whatever we want to do? Why would you run 7 under center snaps in one drive and then barely do it the rest of the game? You might as well not do it
run 7 under center runs in one drive and then run 6 under center snaps in the next 52 snaps the rest of the game. Just insanity.
And I know y'all get tired of hearing these dumb questions in the media. I know they chuckle like, why are they asking us about under center snaps? Because you won't do it, dummies. And I'm not trying to call you really good at it. Y'all are smart. It's like, why do you make this hard? Like, football's not a hard game. You're making it hard for yourself.
It's one thing if they were bad at it, if they didn't have an offensive
line. Yeah, like you couldn't do it, I would understand.
Exactly. If they didn't have the solution.
But you clearly have shown you can do it. It's just a refusal not to, bro. Like, if, like DG said, they don't care, I don't care. If y'all gonna keep trolling and do whatever you want to do, live in the gun, die by the gun, go ahead, bro. If you gonna care, I don't care either. Go ahead, bro.
Unserious football team, bro.
And do whatever y'all want to do, bro.
And the coaching decisions are even more exasperated by the fact that we've got Andy Reid that has reverted to his conservative nature in a lot of respects. 4th and 4, Dallas territory, down by 3, 7 minutes left in the third. Punt the ball. Incredibly conservative to not go for it in that
You're on the plus 40. Go for it. It's 4 yards.
Just
Dallas defense, man, get that shit.
And guess what? The Dallas offense got that back immediately with a PI called or CD Lamb. Immediately. You can't have these type of mistakes when you're in the margins and these games are so close. You're ceding that type of points. And there's some Andy Reid was really good at earlier in the season of not having these mistakes. And now he's reverted back to his worst tendencies. And it's so annoying to watch. It's terrible. I can't even describe it. And guess what? That was the second worst one that he had in the game. Because he also punted for the 4th and 5 from down the side of the ball. Still down by 3.
Did it twice.
He did it twice. 2 punts in same situations, third quarter, plus side of the ball, down by 3. 2 punts.
Your defense ain't got to stop all day. You think they about to get a stop now? No. Go get a first down, bro. You watching the game flow. We need these points. Our defense ain't stopped George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb all day. They ain't about to do it now. Go get the first down, bro. And like you had a chance to redeem yourself. You still punted the ball. Andy playing scared, bro. It is what it is, bro. Like,
I think Chuck just brought up too. If I'm not mistaken, on that drive, the previous drive y'all was talking about, they went for it on 4th down.
Yeah, it was. It was like I think it was a 4th and
on 1, their side of the field.
On our side of the ball, not their side.
Yep.
Unserious, bro. Truly unserious.
Y'all gonna troll? It is what it is, bro.
Truly unserious, dog.
Completely unserious. And I did want to put it into context as far as it's concerned, just to understand where the Chiefs are at as far as this aspect. The Chiefs have, lost this much as far as win probability by being conservative in these situations. And early in the year, Andy Reid was very good about being aggressive with his offense. It is time for Andy Reid to understand that he does not have a good defense, and this game has to be won by offense on a consistent basis. Just what it comes down to. No more punting it, hoping the defense will give the ball. They've proven time and time again they will let you down. They will not allow you to get the ball back. They will not put you in a position to succeed. You have to be able to dictate things with your offense. And if you don't, you're going to continue to lose. And that's why they're at the top of this graph as far as win probability added or lost by game per game, as far as kicking the ball in need to go situations. So annoying and frustrating for this to be a Hall of Fame staff and them to be letting down the talent on both sides of the ball. That's really what it comes down to.
The year we finally get a receiving core, we act like this.
Receiving core and a left tackle for that.
No, I'm about to say, and we get a left tackle. Everything we've been begging for the last 2 years, we finally get it, and this is what we do with it. Coach him out.
And we've talked about it. Receiving core, a left tackle, and we said, hey, some of Mahomes not necessarily living up to his regular season performances is understandable given the circumstances. Well, we gave it to him, and look what he's doing. He's having one of the best. He's having one of the best seasons out of structure that you've ever seen. The only quarterback in the National Football League that's got a positive EPA when there's time to throw is over 4 seconds. He's the only one, because those are times in which these games or these plays are normally dead. He's the only one. He's the only one in the last 4 seasons to be positive as far as EPA per play is concerned. With 4+ time to throw, man. He's the only one. So we've We've given the wide receiver core, we've given the left tackle, and he's responded in kind. And we're 6-6 because the coaching staff is scared. The defense has gone through too many, backslides as far as the personnel is concerned. And Spagnuolo's putting the wrong personnel out there. Just it's frustrating.
I know. I don't get how
it's some bad luck, and Mahomes has his part in it as far as some ill-timed performances, and obviously the 2 pick sixes that stand out. But
I'm gonna tell you right now,
this team is letting them down.
You do that goofy shit again, live in the gun on Sunday night, see what happens. Well, Anderson about to have
they will get him killed.
He will die. Pat will be out there running for his freaking life. Live in the gun if you want to, Andy. Go out there and do that 52 snaps with only 6 under center. Do that shit again on Sunday night. See what happens.
Wallace cold.
What was that game when we were playing the Raiders last year? And Pat was like, it's the same fucking move. You're going to be saying the same shit to Will Anderson. He going to be doing that same move around Jawan Taylor, Jalen Moore, whoever out there playing tackle. At this point, it don't fucking matter. If you're going to live in the gun the whole day, me, DG, and DMac can be out there blocking. And niggas going to get around. Well, I ain't going to lie. If it was me, I'll put a nigga on his ass. I ain't going to lie. But overall,
don't put me out there.
Nah, I ain't going to lie. I'll probably get mad as shit. But
definitely don't put me out there.
If just realistically, bro, if you truly, Andy, I hope you hear this. Tickle your tonsils or not. I don't care about the jokes, trolling. If you truly want to win a football game or salvage any point left in this season, if you go out there and live in the shotgun for that game, knowing you don't have your starting left tackle, knowing you're probably seeing the best pair of edge rushers probably in the NFL, you will go home. You will miss the playoffs, and you will look like a goofy while doing it.
And you will deserve to.
And it'll be all warranted for sure. All the trolling, the jokes, the media, everything they say about you will be all warranted because you literally coaching malpractice, know what your team can and cannot do, know their strengths, know their weaknesses, and you and Pat just in the meeting room to say, hey, we don't care. We're going to die on our sword. I know y'all watch this. I know y'all see the same film. For y'all to both just be so stubborn and comfortable with this, that's the most frustrating part because you correct yourself and then you don't do it. And it's not just y'all. OCs across the league do it. So it's not just Andy. It's just the fact with this team specifically, we know what works and what doesn't work, and you just choose not to do it. So we'll see what happens Sunday night, but let's do our picks because I'm ready to go. I'm tired. And
we do have.
I'm hungry.
We've got CJ upset.
I'm about to get a headache.
I did want to just at least give a little bit of credit to some of the great plays Mahomes was able to make because this one was crazy. Rolling out left and being able to throw it back right. Really good catch by Rashee Rice. I was a little bit critical of Rashee Rice. I think that he had a lazy route on third down.
And he had a bad drop.
That ended up taking them off the field. And then also he had that, like you said, bad drop on third down that also took them off the field. So I don't think it was a perfect game by Rashee Rice, but ultimately he did show up. This was, at the end of the game, awesome throw by Patrick Mahomes where he put this ball, and I think I got to show you guys from this angle to really have a great appreciation for it. Just stands in there and rips it as he sees Hollywood Brown clear his defender, even against
get them toes down. Hollywood, good catch, boy. Great
catch by Hollywood Brown to get his toes down in the back line, understanding where he's at, great awareness, and just this is the type of game that Mahomes was having, man. While getting hit, throws the ball on the money. Just
15 showed up.
As well.
That's a fact.
He did show up. We got some Mahomes to Travis Kelce magic early in the game. Travis runs that nice little sail route on the outside. Does a good job being able to create that chunk. That was early in the game too. I love the way he just dipped. Travis Kelce still got, Unk still got it, man.
Get up, get underneath.
Dip underneath him, get a little outside. Mahomes rips it. Good job there. I did want to show the Rashee Rice that was earlier in the game too. Mahomes again. Avoiding pressure, getting outside, throwing it to Rashee Rice on the run. I'll show it the end zone. So
that's on the money, Pat. Oh
yeah. I want to show it from the end zone so we can see the reverse angle in full appreciation. Jalen Moore gets beat up the arc, just gets inside. Guy running at him. On the money, defender diving. Still can't get to it. To Rashee Rice. And then the last one, of course, which was, the highlight play of the day.
Evading 2 tackles.
Evading 2 tackles. They get Jalen Moore gets beat inside, makes him miss. 3 Tech tries to get him outside, makes him miss, and just hits Xavier Worthy on the money here. And I know people were like, Xavier
While
Worthy should have
falling.
scored. Yeah, while falling. I understand why people said Xavier Worthy should have scored. I don't really think it's that big of a deal that he didn't end up scoring. I'm just glad that he caught the ball, to be perfectly honest with you. Just as long as he caught the ball, got the chunk in it, and this kept the game alive. But we'll show the reverse angle. Again, they run a little stick, and Donovan Saraku is really good. Like he just is.
I mean, how is he supposed to see that in real time? Like, I caught the ball, right? I'm here, and now, like, I'm supposed to look behind me and see, oh, okay, there was green grass right there. Like, I'm about to do a full.
He saw that there were two people in front of him, and he had Tyquan Thornton as a blocker. So I understand why he went that way. So I wanted to give Mahomes his flowers because he played excellent, obviously in a homecoming game for him, and we let him down as far as I'm concerned too. Two quick things. One, Shamari Connor did not have himself a good game. I know people talked about this because a lot of people wanted to blame 32 for this play. This is Shamari Connor's responsibility to stay on the outside as far as the hook zone is concerned. Bolden's playing in the middle of the field, and he comes up to help out on Dak there. Chris Jones and him are there. Shamari Connor just comes up for no reason. Then Javonte Williams sneaks right behind him. And then this was a massive play on the last drive. You send him on a run blitz off the edge. His responsibility is to get this running back on the ground for a tackle for loss that can still, allow this game to continue on. Because if you get him on this tackle for loss, then you can, get him off the field. Ultimately, completely whiffs on the tackle. Javonte Williams turns it into a 9-yard gain. That ends up opening things up for what they want to do on second and third down. So
Shamari, what the?
Just it's frustrating. Like
Run
I said,
through your target. If you're gonna miss, I'd rather you miss. Don't just sit there and bend at the waist and get cooked. What kind of tackle was that?
He's a backup, man. He's a backup.
Yeah, tomorrow you can't get on the field, bro. I'm sorry, bro. You get off the field, gang.
He's back up. I'll finish up with this. The Jared Wiley silver lining. Like I said, I was interested to see some of the snaps from him, just to because we hadn't seen him really for the entirety of the season. But Noah Gray being out necessitated him playing. I thought he did a good job on his run, climbing and being able to block Overshown. Didn't end up going anywhere, but I thought he did a good job at least blocking on that run. The Rashee Rice touchdown, I feel like he ultimately sprung him. Travis Kelce has the immediate block, but Jared Wiley does a good job getting upfield, blocking the DB, and opening that up for Rashee Rice. And it's those little things that are important to do as a tight end that you got to be able to do to get on the field. I know CJ will speak to that too. And then they run a little tight end slide, and he's able to convert that 4th and 1 there on the edge. So that's just me kind of pointing out, hey, a little bit of silver lining. Jared Wiley pressed into action, was able to be effective, in my opinion. Springing Rashee Rice, doing a solid enough job blocking, doing little things, then obviously being asked to do a big thing here and converting on this 4th down on the tight end slide effectively, and was able to get that conversion. So just wanted to give Jared Wiley that shout out here.
Good to see him back on the field. I know that's his first time playing this year, so that was good to see.
Absolutely. So major storyline coming out of this game. Obviously, Brian Cook leaves with ankle injury. Hopefully, doesn't sound any terribly too long term. We'll obviously hear about it. Is the offensive tackles, and specifically because of the matchup that you're going to face in the Houston Texans coming up next week. Jawan Taylor leaves with an elbow injury of some kind. They said it's not expected to be long term. Hopefully, he can play this week. We will certainly see. And then, obviously, the big one is Josh Simmons. Josh Simmons ended up leaving the stadium in a cast and his arm in a sling. I'll be perfectly honest with you. And based on everything as far as like Nate Taylor's reporting,
he ain't playing.
He's not coming back for the rest of the season. And it's unfortunate that it happened on a play in which Kareem Hunt is giving him chip help and just gets his arm caught. And Josh Simmons has fortunately been excellent whenever he's been out there on the field this year. And of course, it's been limited action due to his personal, absence early in the year. But it's frustrating that that's going to be the end of his season, to say the least. And then that's of course going to roll right into what it looks like as far as the matchup versus the Houston Texans. Texans have been excellent as far as the defensive side of the ball. They have a really hellacious defensive line. Got a second level that likes to fly around. Their DBs, obviously with Stingley and Lassiter on the cornerback positions, are really good. They're comfortable in man, comfortable in zone. Jalen Petrie is one of the best tackling DBs in the National Football League, point blank period at the safety position. And obviously we know Kalen Bullock has become really a good ball hawk on the back end too. So this defense is a massive challenge, and their offense has started found itself. They found a little bit of rushing ability with Chubb and Woody Marks. Their offensive line has solidified a little bit to be able to pass protect for CJ Stroud some. They've had Jaden Higgins come on as a secondary target alongside, obviously, Dolan Schultz and Nico Collins. And so this is not going to be an easy matchup on either side of the ball, and they're hot, to say the least, coming off of what was a Bills win and then a win versus the Colts on the road in Indy. So matchups, what are you guys going to be watching for this Chiefs offense versus the Texans defense?
Tackles.
You're going to protect your tackles. Got to protect your tackles.
Can the offensive line hold up? Can you do enough to keep Mahomes protected? Are you willing to commit to being underneath center? I know I said this a lot tonight. It's gonna be cold. Be a great night to start running the ball.
Them tackles sure start hurting when you don't feel like running the ball as much.
Right. So, are you going to be the team that finally imposes their will instead of another team imposing, their will on you? So
nothing more than a D-line hate just being ran on and play action and putting them in conflict all the time and got them thinking vertically as well as horizontally and using your speed, using guys like Taekwon, using guys like Worthy to stretch the defense out horizontally and keeping them in conflict with that zone scheme, run game. And there's ways this game can be won. There's a path to victory. Will they do it? I have no faith in that. Actually, I take that. Do I have faith? No. But what's going to happen is they're going to make us all look stupid. They're going to go out there and play well. After everything we said they didn't do last week, they're going to do it all this week. I don't know why. I don't know why I have this faith. I've seen them do it, but watch. They're going to do it this week. It's going to look amazing. Crowd's going to go crazy. Oh my God, Chiefs are back. Shut up. I don't care. Because they don't have no consistency to do this on a week-to-week basis. I don't care about one-game performances. You have to do this you have to win out, bro. You have to win out.
Yeah,
that's the reality, bro.
That's the obvious. That's the obvious reason why they would do it. You have no choice right now. You have literally no other option unless you want to sit at home. Which I mean, that's what you want to do. Then go out on Sunday night and lose this game. You definitely will be. But I mean, unless you don't want to be sitting at home, then you need to stop being stubborn and do what you don't like doing, and ultimately you're actually kind of good at.
That's the funny part. They good at it. And they don't want it. This is why I said they hard headed, bro. It's like it's a Pat and anything. Cause I know y'all be in these rooms looking at what worked for us this week. Man, let's go gun. I'm like, what? That's the laziest take I've ever seen in my life. Laziest thing ever.
It's like having a kid that is got a 4.0, but he just don't want to go to school. Like you smartest kid in the world.
You lazy as shit.
Just lazy. And ultimately that's what it's boiled down to. It's just pure laziness at this point. It's pure lazy and lack of awareness and stubbornness. So if you want to get your ass kicked, be in gun for most of this game.
You will lose.
I guarantee you, the Texans will whoop your ass.
That is a fact.
For sure. They will whoop your ass. I hope
Will Anderson will have a career day. Go out there and play in the gun the whole time. See what happens.
That you're in gun for most of the game.
Fact. Yeah.
So that they can tee off. Make this a game where you have to throw the ball 40-something times. They're hoping for that.
That's a fact.
That's the only matchup between the offense and the defense at this point.
Nothing else matters.
Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. Your receivers should be able to win. You should be able to run the football. But what do you do it? I don't know.
Now, I guess I don't know if they're trying to save Kareem from like a workload, because I've watched this kind of ebbs and flow thing. Same thing we said about Kareem Hunt. He had 30 carries on Sunday versus Colts. Short week. You don't want to overwork him. So obviously he had a lightened workload this week with Pacheco coming back. I've seen a lot of similar things across the league. Like I've seen backs like James Cook or even Bijan Robinson have big weeks. They get 20 to 25 plus carries. The next week they fall off back down like 12 to 14. I don't know what coaches are saving you for. I don't know what you're saving Kareem for. Our season is on the line. We don't have any reason to be saving guys from touches. If Kareem Hunt gets 20 plus carries, our offense looks good. Kareem Hunt, you getting 20 carries every week. And you know why? Because he did it for a month last year. You got a month left in your season now. So if you're not going to give Kareem Hunt 15 plus carries a week, none of this shit even matters. It's just point blank period.
They've got no excuse. They've got the rest advantage. They've got 10 days off. They're at home at Arrowhead. This offense has to get under center, and they have to be serious because I promise you that Texans defense is going to be happy to punish you, even if it's Jalen Moore and Jawan Taylor in the most ideal scenario out there at tackle. They will happily tee off on you the entirety of the day if you go back there and drop back 40 times. They will happily take your head off of your franchise quarterback, and you can't do that. So I think that they can get some stuff to Travis Kelce. I think Travis Kelce can have himself a good game. Get Rashee Rice trying again going inside.
I think Shazier may be on the injury report too. I know he left the Colts game a little early just for nugget.
Who did you say?
Shazier. Not Shazier.
Al-Zaire.
Shazier, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I didn't see that, but we'll
I know he left and came back. I just keep an eye on that one.
Yeah. And look, it's going to be cold for what it's worth. So yeah, I think Travis Kelce is probably the best matchup you've got, but I want to see more of Rashee Rice, more of using these guys and level concepts on the end breakers. It's not you don't want to throw the ball outside the numbers versus the Texans. It's just you don't want to do that.
Can't live in that world.
Yeah, it's not where you want to be. So that's the reality of that side of the ball. As far as the Chiefs defense versus the Texans offense, I'd love to tell you that they could take advantage of this Texans offensive line. I just don't trust them to. I just don't. I absolutely don't. I know that George Karlaftis had a great sack game versus the Texans in the playoffs. I know that they harassed him in the CJ Stroud in the regular season. The Chiefs defensive line has gotten significantly worse since then. The Texans offensive line has gotten better since then. I don't have a lot of faith as far as that's concerned. They need CRW back, in my personal opinion, to play that nickel on a consistent basis. They need to put Shamari Connor on the bench. I have no confidence that they will do so. So that's kind of my feelings as far as that matchup is concerned. But if they do those things, then I think they have a good shot at being able to make it difficult on Nico Collins or Jaden Higgins on the outside. And then sending hopefully timely blitzes to get off the field versus CJ Stroud. You guys, as far as the Chiefs defense versus this Texans offense, what you guys watching?
I mean, CJ Stroud obviously looked a little rusty at times. He's been out for like the last 2-3 weeks with a concussion. The run game of the Texans clearly isn't the same matchup you saw last year, but they had Joe Mixon, who was playing at an MVP type level at that point. So their run game has been somewhat regressed from that standpoint. The weapons are a little bit different. Nico Collins is still there. Dalton Schultz is still there. Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel are getting more snaps. They're getting more comfortable. But nothing on this offense is really nothing special. Nothing you really have to – outside of Nico Collins being a dog, he's an alpha. He can go out there and wreck a game plan anyway. But this is a different matchup from what you're seeing from a George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb coming down to this matchup. From an offensive quarterback standpoint, from a receiver standpoint, from an O-line standpoint, it's a downgrade across the board. But if you go out there and continuously to do the blitzes that don't work, and overall, most importantly, if you're not going to have any pride and not affect the quarterback, CJ Stroud could be left-handed and blind and go out there and complete passes on this defense the way y'all be acting. I don't even care. So it really doesn't even matter who the matchup is out there. Same thing we said on offense. Are you going to do the things that are going to help you win this football game? If this D-line is going to continuously come in every week and not do anything to affect the quarterback, we're going to lose. CJ Stroud can go out there, have a career day, and dice us up if you're not going to put any pressure on the quarterback. I've literally seen JV teams do better than y'all. There's no way in hell you should be going almost 3 games without a sack. That's not even legal. It doesn't even sound right. A D-line room, that should piss you off. The fact that you even went a game without a sack, let alone almost 3. So if we don't put any pressure on CJ and the D-line doesn't have any pride, and I'm not as much talking to Chris Jones because he's been balling out of his mind ever since the break. He had a couple slip-ups during the Dallas game, but he's the only dude that's showed up in any way capacity in the D-line room, in my opinion. So, Charles Omenihu, George Karlaftis, Mike Dana, Ashton Gelati, I'm going to give you a pass for a rookie. If y'all don't have pride, y'all might as well just stay home. Dead ass, bro. And I hope y'all see this. Go out there and be pissed. If any room on your defense that should play with their hair on fire, should be pissed off, it should be your D line. Y'all set the tone for everyone else. Because if you get pressure, your linebackers are better. Your DBs fly to the ball faster. The ball comes out faster. You get more turnovers. You get off the field on third down. If you're not going to rush the passer, none of this shit matters. Nothing. Stopping the run, it don't matter if we get to third down and CJ Stroud going to dump it off to Dalton Schultz for a first down or Nico Collins on a dig because CJ Stroud just back there patting the ball talking to his girlfriend. Like, you have to affect the game. If you're not going to do that, you might as well just stay home. Don't even show up. Dead ass, bro. I've never seen a stat like that. That shit pissed me off. And I don't even play defense. I played offense. That shit makes me mad. 11 quarters without a sack? That's embarrassing, bro. That should piss y'all off. The fact that somebody even said that shit to you. And if you're not mad, like I said, don't even come to the stadium, bro. I'd rather you just be active. Let the rookies play and lose like that, if that's the way you're going to act.
Yeah. I think my biggest thing, especially with this matchup, is that Steve Spagnuolo is gonna have to get to a point where you gotta break your loyalty, dog, to certain guys. Sorry. Like, I understand you believe in certain players and believe in, and I don't expect him to do it because he's not going to. But you got to get to a point where you start realizing guys just can't do certain jobs that you're asking them to do. You've seen it now for how many games? 12, 13 games? You know? In those 12 and 13 games, I'm not sure what Shamari Connor has shown you that continuously tells you to keep sending him out there. He just can't do it, bro. I'm not sure why you continuously be inconsistent with how you're using Noah Williams at this point. It makes no sense. So defensively, I would hope that, and this is all I can say, I'm gonna hope that this last loss will be the last time we see these kinds of personnel packages on the field. If you're gonna lose, bro, lose playing your rookies, lose playing your young guys at this point. So that's if we're gonna lose, just do that. I'd rather see that. I'd rather them get the development and the snaps that they need moving forward in the future or whatever, than to see you continuously roll the same guys out here who you know can't do the job at this point. But I'm sounding like a broken record because I know it's not going to happen. Shamari Connor's going to play 70 snaps and
70. That's low.
Whatever, however many it is.
However many snaps. Oh, you mean like 70%?
However many, yeah, 7.
Yeah, he's gonna play 120% of the snaps.
And I'm gonna come over here
cooked.
and I'm gonna look like a dumbass because he's gonna line up him versus Nico Collins in the slot and he's gonna get roasted.
I'm the nice one. Shamari, you been ass, bro.
The defensive line. At this point, bro, it's like what CJ said. It's a pride thing. George Karlaftis, like, I don't understand how you can sit here and want to get paid like a decent edge rusher in this league and go 11 quarters without even affecting the quarterback at all. Like, not moving a guy off his spot, not anything. No type of pass rush plan, nothing different. Nothing new. Just the same lazy bull rush over and over and over again.
No bad work at all, bro.
Know that it's not working at this point. Now, when we scouted you, or whatever, we knew that was what you had in your bag, but the effort was there. At least she gave us the effort. We respected that. So at least the least you can do is at least give us the effort. And then when you get, like I've been saying all year, bro, when you get back there, you have got to finish. the best edge rushers in this league finish. It doesn't matter how you get back there. When they get back there, you finish. Trey Hendrickson finishes. TJ Watt finishes. Myles Garrett finishes. Finish.
He for damn
play. You know, I don't look this week. I don't give a. I'm sorry, yeah, I'm a cuss. I don't give a flying fuck if you get a 3 roughing the passers. I need to see something.
Hit the quarterback, bro. Jesus Christ.
Hit him in his head, whatever. I'm not saying intentionally hurt CJ Stroud or anything.
Yeah, not that.
I don't want anybody Texas fans.
No, they're not doing that.
But
just show some heart, bro.
Show something. Give me something. Anything. Any ounce of effort. Anything that shows me right now that you want to save and salvage the season at this point. Because if not, then we can just all go home. And we don't have to sit here and talk about, you know, the chances of y'all making the playoffs or anything like that. We can just start on mock drafting for next year.
I can sell my season tickets the rest of the year. Y'all gonna act like this,
right?
I ain't going out there. Y'all keep doing this shit.
Don't have, I'll say this too, man. Do not have hardworking people like CJ, DMac, or whoever, even Chuck, going out to these games down the stretch here to disappoint them. We have come way too far in this franchise at this point to have these people who work hard to get these tickets. And I'm not saying that these players don't work hard either. But these fans deserve to see y'all play well in these kinds of moments. Backs against the wall. This is where the championship pedigree comes into play. So it's up to them. It's your choice. Defensive line.
Andy.
What are you gonna do? Spags? You know? What are you gonna do?
Ain't no X's and O's this week, bro. It's all hard.
It's real simple. Yes. It is. It's no. I don't want to sit here and talk about matchup and how we're gonna stop Nico Collins.
It don't matter.
It doesn't matter. None of that matters. Throw all that shit out the window. Because at this point right now, and where you're at right now, it's win or go home. It does, like I've been saying, it doesn't matter how it looks. We said this in the Colts game. It's win or go home. Shit or get off the pot. What are you gonna do?
Don't find out. Interesting. It's gonna be interesting Sunday night. I tell you that. It's going to be 20 degrees, I believe. I don't think there's any snow in the forecast. You never know with KC weather, it could change, but it's going to be a cold game. If you can't win at home, then if you can't win this game, they don't deserve to go to the playoffs. That's just a fact. A must-win game at home. Season on the line. You don't deserve to go if you can't win this game.
This is your season on the line, and I said essentially the entirety of the rest of the season. You know, this is the reality of it. You have home games versus the Texans and Chargers and Broncos, and you have road games versus the Titans and Raiders. This is your season. If you want to continue your season past those games, you have to win them. If you don't, then you lose. That's just the reality of the situation. The Texans, for what it's worth, are elite, obviously, at drop back. You can run on them a little bit, and I do mean a little bit because they're still good there, especially as far as success rate is concerned. So maybe you can find some success there and you know, affect CJ Stroud. That's the way that you win on the other side of the ball. Tell us your trifecta. I'm taking Kelsey for 50 yards.
Trifecta. Shit.
Give me Kareem Hunt to score. If we're not going to run the ball this week, I don't know when we ever going to do it. They gave him a week off last week. He barely got any touches. Give me Kareem Hunt, ATD.
I don't know, man. Shit.
I don't know.
Chiefs money line.
Shit. I really don't care about none of this. I just want to
might as well at this point because
that's the only thing we can pick.
It's that simple. I don't know how else to put it. You got to win the game regardless. So You know, y'all wanna make some buku dollars. Just take Chiefs to win.
Yeah, you ain't lying. X Factor guinea pig. Win the game. X Factor Jalen Moore.
Yeah, X Factor. I'll go Arrowhead crowd. CJ and them.
We don't. I don't know if them.
Because I can bank on them showing up. I know they'll.
we can trust the Arrowhead crowd's
I
gonna
can
show
trust the
up.
Arrowhead
They gonna
crowd.
yell. I don't know what they're gonna be yelling for,
right.
but they gonna yell.
We're gonna make some noise.
It's gonna be cold. Gonna be a lot of beers passed around. Some hot chocolate. It's gonna be a cold night, but if there's ever a night for Arrowhead to back your team, Chief Kingdom, they need you this Sunday. Boy, we be joking about how like obviously our fans get a little rowdy, and for good reason. They're very passionate. These boys need you this week. So if you have the time or the funds, like DG said, and your hard work and money to come out to Arrowhead Sunday night, they're gonna need every single person in the stadium, all 80,000 of us. Because the way they've been playing, I don't know if they need us to yell at Andy on third down, yell at Spags, yell at George like Chris was doing in training camp. Whatever you want to do on Twitter this week, I don't care. Everything's on the table. So, X Factor for me is definitely Chiefs Kingdom this week. And game pick is, I don't care. Win the game. I truly don't care. Find a way, like Pat always says. Find a way.
Let's go to around the NFL real quick before we go ahead and get on out of here. Winners, losers.
The winner is still the Bears. I've been saying this shit.
I was about to say the winners is the Bears.
Every week they keep doing it.
I was
They're the one seed, bro. What the hell?
One seed in the NFC. I was sitting there watching their run game,
bro.
The creativity.
DMac, I'm about to have a headache.
It was so impressive to watch the way that they designed that offensive run game.
DG, yes, I know you saw them under center snaps. I know you think that shit. I know you saw them fly motions, DMac. I know you think that shit. I know y'all watched that goddamn game. It's a watch for week.
I was so jealous. I was so jealous. It was awesome to watch the way that they really dominated the game on the ground. Both Kyle Malungai and DeAndre Swift go over 100 yards, a run for 200 yards against the Eagles defense. Shout out to the Bears. They're the clear winner. DG, you got anybody else you want to say is a winner?
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young, boy, win of the weekend. Outside of the Eagles one, that's easy to win of the weekend. Boy,
he has got to be
in the rain, diced him up.
The most consistent quarterback I have ever seen in my life. That kid can be a bum one week
and then dice up some of the best teams.
One of the best quarterbacks in the league the next week.
That shit was crazy.
He does it, but shout out to bro.
He definitely had one of the best performances of the weekend for sure. Absolutely.
Loser of the week.
The Colts.
Definitely the Colts. Yeah.
Colts are
Colts and the Ravens losing that game, bro.
Yeah, the Ravens game was awful.
They can fuck around and lose the division after.
But that's the thing. The Ravens, because the Steelers are ass, and they still are in a fine position. But that Colts one felt like one that they needed because obviously Jacksonville ends up winning. They're the top of the AFC South. The Colts are in a position where they can start sliding down the playoff picture as it currently stands.
I guess you say the fans of other teams that didn't play on Thanksgiving. I apologize for Bengals and Ravens. That game, that nightcap was a travesty.
That game sucked.
That game, and then
Lamar had 4 turnovers again. How many games does he have with 4 turnovers? I feel like he does that shit way too often.
Even with the Bengals, if that game was bad, bro. It was a horrible watch for sure. But yeah, I would say Ravens, Colts.
I feel disgusted with myself.
I do got one player I want to put to rest. And once we get to that stage,
bro. You do?
We had a slip on Sunday. I had a whole bunch of spreads and money lines picked. Chuck gonna troll me for this. I don't know why the fuck I did this. I should have went with my mind. I had Jacksonville money line, and some told me, you know what, the Titans gonna cover the spread today. They're not gonna get blown out. They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose respectfully. I put Titans plus 7.5. They was down 20-something in the first half. I said, God Almighty. Oh my God. I was like, yeah, they're at home. Jags may be a little sleepy on them. They'll find a way to keep it close. They patootie whooped. But that's why y'all gonna be picking number 2 in the draft. So I fell for the okie doke. I was trying to be a tinfoil hat guy like Chuck. Shit didn't work. That's not my lane. It's not me.
Yeah. All right. DG, you got somebody to lay the rest.
That young hoe ain't cool no more.
Boy, no. Kick the ground. He went like
I didn't even. Oh,
I ain't never seen nothing like that before, bro. This shit funny.
Oh, no.
I'd rather you just miss the kick and miss the ball. He didn't even kick the ground.
Gang. Yeah, no, I said his name. Right.
Hey, bro, you may have to retire, gang.
No way. Look at me, dog. Look.
Come here, son.
How the hell does your foot get stuck in the turf, gang?
That shit.
How?
I've never seen this before.
I've never seen this before in my life.
Ever.
I've never seen this.
Never
touched
the ball.
You know what the craziest part is too? Okay, as everybody knows, legal betting sports betting just went live in Missouri on Monday, Monday night. So everybody's excited. Everybody's got great things going on. Hopefully your bets are hitting or whatever. My wife, signs up for her first DraftKings account.
Okay, wifey.
Excited, she gets her bonus bets or whatever. Got like $300 in bonus bets or whatever. Shout out to DraftKings for that too. Took young Hoku for 2 field goals. I'm sitting there thinking like,
boy, I know she cussed him out so bad.
I'm like, actually, that's not a bad bet. Giants, they suck.
Move the ball, may not score.
The ball, but they may not score. But I think he could put up 2 field goals.
Boy, I know she was
when this happened. She lost it. I couldn't even say that.
Bro, that's the worst bad beat I've ever seen. That's terrible, bro. There's been some bad beats.
Bro, how does your foot get stuck in the?
They talk about people cheating and FBI scandals. He needs to be investigated. There ain't no way he did that.
I said, you got to be kidding me.
Oh, God, that was funny.
There is no absolute way.
I've seen dudes miss the ball. I've seen dudes kick the holder's hand. I've seen it all, but to not even hit the ball at all?
A professional.
This is a professional kicker.
Like you've been kicking field goals for how long now?
You should do that shit in your sleep. When miss or make the kick, you should be able to hit the ball.
Quit doing them injustice, Steven. Play the full clip.
Do that shit with your eyes closed.
Oh, I'd have to find it real quick. I can see if I can find the full clip.
Like you, how does your foot, bro?
He went.
Bro, how does your foot get stuck in the turf, gang?
I've never seen that before. High school, JV, JUCO, professional. I've never seen that happen, like ever. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
so, I can't find the full clip. I can find
it's all good. It's all good. Either way, man. Young Hoku.
I think
they gave you life.
You may have to retire after that, gang. That's tough.
I
don't think you got to retire. I think the league might retire from you. I think that's
whatever. Yeah, sayonara. Yeah, it's over with, son.
And then
leave your helmet in the locker.
It's number. I don't know who number 12 is. Shout out to whoever number 12 is, man. I feel so bad for him
because took a hit for no reason.
The boy, I know
he know what nobody's down there. He's still trying to tip up thinking. Ain't nobody running around. He's still. He didn't yell fire, nothing. He just ran out there with the ball.
I mean, he had number 12 out there getting hornswoggled for no reason because
he bumped faked it too, like they was really gonna do something.
After the game, bro, young Hoku would have had to see me.
Yeah, he got square with me, bro.
He
On
got
God.
square with me, bro.
He got square.
Because you left me out there to die.
You left me out there to die? What the fuck was you doing?
What? Yeah, man.
And young Cuckoo didn't block nothing.
Didn't do anything.
Just sat his ass there and watched him die.
Right. Like, bro, you wasn't gonna go there and try to protect me. Nothing. Just, my bad. My bad, bro. I didn't know I was gonna miss. Like, yeah.
At least Charlie Brown at least tried to kick it. Cuckoo couldn't even get past the ball.
I said, this man foot.
Oh God.
2 field goals. She took him for 2.
Bruh.
2.
That's the type of shit that make people not even want to bet, bro. When
Right.
you see the first time you get an account, the first bet she made, and that's what happens, nigga. If wifey deleted her account, I would understand. I wouldn't even get mad at her, bro.
Wow. Yeah, buddy, you know.
At least the minion knew to kick something.
At least he tried. He at least swung at something. Kicking the ground is crazy.
I've never seen that.
He got to be
life,
investigated, bro. That sounds like some FBI shit, bro. He got to be investigated for that, bro.
So yeah, young Waku laid to rest whole career. Underdog Fantasy, sign up. New Year's is use code TRUE3, $100 deposit match. Make sure you guys get on it. Like you said, NBA full swing, NHL full swing. Obviously, college football going into bowl season, championship weekend. This weekend, make sure you guys are ready to go for that as well. Obviously, NFL coming down the stretch. Wings and Things game day box. Make sure you guys swing by for this week on Sunday. I have a little bit of hope for you guys before we get out of here. Reality situation is Chiefs are still up against it. Like I said, Chiefs got to end up winning. In my opinion, the next 2 games, I think that they could still afford to lose to the Broncos as long as they take care of business outside of that. But reality is, this is kind of what you're looking at the playoff picture. Chiefs are obviously in the 10 seed because they're behind everybody. All you got to do is be 1 game better than the Steelers. The Steelers have losable games. I think you'll be better than the Steelers the rest of the way. I think the Steelers got 2 losses in them. So even if you lose to the Broncos, it's not the end of the world. Texans, in my opinion, is going to be tough to catch. I think that's going to be the difficult portion. But if you win, obviously, then you got the tiebreaker over them. And then you're even as far as the record is concerned. So even if you end up, whatever it'd be, as far as the game behind them, we'll see what ends up happening as far as that's concerned. The Colts and the Chargers are the 2 teams that I'm looking at. I think the Bills will do enough to stay in it. But you could have the Colts and Chargers drop out. Texans and Chiefs ended up getting in and taking their 2 spots as far as that is concerned. I think that's a realistic scenario. But again, of course, you got to win versus the Texans. You got to win versus the Chargers. You obviously have the tiebreaker versus the Colts. The Colts have an incredibly difficult schedule. The Chargers have a difficult schedule too. You hand the Chargers a loss, you end up obviously, having to get that game back. Even if you lose to the Broncos, they lose to the Broncos. They could lose another game that they have versus the Eagles also down the stretch here. I think you got a shot. So root against the Chargers, in my opinion. Root against the Colts, in my opinion. Root for the Chiefs to win these next 2 games specifically. I think they'll be in an all right spot to make the playoffs. But reality situation is they lose this week. I think you guys can go ahead and get to the mock draft season as I've started over on my channel. We will certainly be talking about some off-season stuff.
Fire up the simulators.
Yeah, we'll be firing up some simulators if it doesn't end up going well. But yeah, Chiefs got opportunities in Arrowhead rest of the way for their difficult games against AFC opponents. We'll see what they got. Anything else we go ahead and get out of here, man?
Oh man,
Nope.
Winner get off the pot.
Absolutely. Win, or we're going to be talking off season next pod.
That's smart. We'll see.
Peace out. Go Chiefs.